Hey guys, it's Carter. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day today. Now in today's video, we are going to be talking about the top 5 artificial intelligence stocks that you guys need in your portfolio. For those of you that don't know, AI is rated the best sector to invest in for 2025, giving an expected annual return of 38%. I don't know why I drew a blank, but it's giving an annual return of 38% for the next 10 years. So if some of these stocks can make some money off that or get some growth, that's going to be absolutely fantastic. So the top 5 AI stocks that you guys need. And don't forget, if you guys want to learn how to invest, how to trade, check out our school. You guys can use code LEARN to get 50% off. We got private live streams, quizzes, lectures. For those of you that don't know who I am a full-time swing trader in the stock market, and our school is awesome. So check it out down below. It's great. You won't regret it. So guys, let's jump into this here. So this first stock, obviously, I can't have a list without this. This is Nvidia. Nvidia is one of these companies that is the leader of AI. This past year, its growth is nearing around 167%, outperforming the S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ. And looking at Nvidia's last earnings report, their revenue has grown 122%, but more importantly, their net profit margin is 55%, meaning for every $100 Nvidia brings in, they profit $55, which is incredible. But looking at this here, Nvidia is the boss of AI. Their GPUs are the brains behind almost every AI tool out there, from chatbots to self-driving cars. Plus, the influence in data centers and gaming is only growing. If AI was a sports league, Nvidia would be the MVP, no doubt. I think if you're going to invest into AI, you got to have Nvidia in your portfolio. A good little strategy is to dollar cost average most of these stocks that we're going to be talking about today, just because they're up so much that sometimes it's always better to just average into a position. So you just invest consistently rather than just dump a bunch of money in on it. The second stock here is Microsoft. Microsoft here is pretty much another AI absolutely giant. Their partnership with OpenAI is great, which is the company behind ChatGPT. More importantly, they offer a really awesome AI cloud platform. They offer a variety of things like productivity software. And looking at the past year, we've seen a growth of near and around 15%. So it's actually underperformed the S&P a little bit. But looking at their financials here, their revenue is growing 15%. Net income's up. The only down we've seen is in the net profit margin. As you guys can see, it's down 4%. And the reason why that is right now Microsoft is spending a lot of money on AI, on data centers, and a variety of products. So I do think, they're pretty much investing into themselves, which will cut that profit margin down. So right now it's just pretty much high insider spending, which is kind of diluting the stock a little bit. But if you have a long-term outlook, I think Microsoft is going to be a great player for AI. Not to mention, they do have a nice little dividend yield of about 0.78%. So for every $10,000 you have invested, you get about $78 in cash flow. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. So I do think Microsoft is a great pick for artificial intelligence. Stock number 3, we're on 3, is Google. Google here is another AI powerhouse. We've seen a lot of great metrics and financials out of them. Their revenue up 13%, net income's up 28%. More importantly, their net profit margin's growing. So, they're continuing to grow, their products, services, and more importantly, make more money. The past year, they've seen a growth of about 19%, which is really good. Now, a lot of people don't know what Google pretty much is invested AI in. Pretty much Google search is now all AI, which is great. They own a self-driving car company. They have a company called DeepMind, which is pretty much the company that mastered AI before it was cool. I think if you're gonna bet on AI, Google needs to be in your portfolio. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. They have over $100 billion in cash. So if a company wants to compete with them, it's very, very hard to do so, which is Google's downside. Is there is some speculation right now of Google kind of being a little bit of a monopoly, which can kind of cause a little volatility in the stock. And that's one of the reasons why we've seen a little bit of a dip down from the share price. But more importantly, they do pay a nice dividend of about 0.49. Not much, not even 1%. For every 10,000 you have invested, it's $49. So it's not that much, but it's better than nothing at the end of the day. And Google is just an absolute no-brainer for AI and even just growth. So these three stocks that we talked about are more of the blue chip aspect of AI. Now let's look at more of the higher risk, higher reward type of plays. This one here is C3.ai. C3.ai is a company that really focuses on enterprise AI software. It helps big companies like Fortune 500 companies with AI. And obviously they're a smaller company. The past quarter, they only brought in about $87 million, which might not seem like, that seems like a lot of money, but if you compare it to Google, which is $84 billion, they're a small fish. And I do think one of the things here that's very important is their net profit margin is down 72%. It's actually negative 72%. So what that means is for every $100 C3.ai brings in, they lose $73 on top of that. So, I do think right now with this company, we've seen a lot of sell-off. We've seen just a lot of volatility, but in general, you hear those expressions, high risk, high reward. So I do think C3.ai is that company that's high risk. It's high reward. It could easily go to 15, 10, $7. But on the flip side, I wouldn't be surprised if this stock squeezed up to $40, $50, $60 in the next couple of years. It's a higher risk, higher reward type of stock. So I do think though, if you're going to invest into these higher risk plays, keep them well under 2% of your portfolio, just because there's so much risk involved that it's better just to have a small amount of money allocated towards them. So if it squeezes up, you have some shares, but you're not super heavy in on them if they take a massive hit. Another stock here is called Path. This company here is pretty much investing into AI for automating those boring, repetitive tasks that we all don't like doing at work. They're a leader in robotic process automation, also known as RPA. Their AI smarts help businesses save a ton of money and time. Risky, yes. Potential game changer, yes. So this company, as you guys can see, it's gotten crushed this past year. It's actually down about 46% in the past, year to date, which is not very good, underperforming all the indexes, but high risk, high reward play for sure. Looking at the revenue, you guys can see that the revenue is growing, which is very, very important. But one of the things here is the companies continuing to invest a lot of money back into themselves. Their profit margin is negative 27%. So for every $100 they bring in, they lose $27. So it's not very good, but for like a long-term retirement account, but for like a fun growth stock that's heavily invested into AI, it's a fun stock to just have and see if it squeezes up. The company is growing, which is always good, and honestly, all these companies carry a ton of potential, but we've also seen a lot of growth out of a lot of them. So a little thing here that I would recommend doing for all these stocks is to dollar cost average them, because AI could be in a little short-term bubble, where we've seen these stocks go up and up and up. Now, stocks only don't go up, they go down. So, if we do get some sell-off, use this sell-off as opportunity to buy companies that you believe in, just at a cheaper and more affordable price. So, guys, relax. If there is a crash or recession, go to more blue chip stocks and kind of the stocks that we talked about earlier in today's video. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day and take care.